Update. Mental labor precedes physical labor, flows and blockages. That which occupies the mind conditions the mind, and that's just the nature of the mind. The mind at its best is to be productive. That which is lost is when we take each other's good intentions for granted. Familiarity breeds contempt, a breeding ground for being contempt. An environment of doubt due to misgivings makes one become suspicious of each other. Suspect. There was recently a public official who considered to be the first woman or female, masculine and feminine are just activities, just applied to human beings. That they will be leaving their posts. A speaker of a house, the first of a particular gender to do so. There were many, as it was reported, tears and expressions of gratitude for her and possibly what she represented in the party as well. It's not about the individual, it's about the party. The stereotypical perception and the biasness of the hurt and the pain and the experience and the discrimination, personal, that as well as historically, that I have not been able to overcome, to see the image of a particular ethnic group willing to embrace because what she represented, close to power or power. I'm dealing with social comparison and experiences as well. And some other things that I'm unable to express. It bothered me. It really did. I remember this one brother who said that that he was shared of him that he didn't smile a lot in front of the camera because people are suffering. Really, who cares about the example in the image that they are projecting in the message that that image is sending out. Who cares? And that seemed to be the behavior of those who are a part of a particular party, because what cares is the ideology of a particular system, whatever it may be. And those who are public officials who are a part of that system, and it becomes a party. You know, in a party, you have a good time. A good time in receiving the pensions, money of what is called tax from taxpayers. And if you don't represent any of the two wings on the party, and you don't have no money, how can they really represent you? So you must represent yourself. And when you look at the word linguistically represent, it's to represent that which is representing a present. You're reconnecting. Maybe some could call that being once here before, now you're here again, or represent you in the present. And some would say, well, some religious folks will say it's that which we call God came in the person of. Something that is generated from the mind or the brain, produces order. And in that order, it is designed to be constructive rather than destructive, a decree of a degree, or a degree of a decree, which means the proper attitude that one must have even when it comes to a problem. Because the problem is not the problem, it's the attitude that you have about the problem. So there must be a paradigm shift. But so if there is a flow and blockage, the blockage is a disease, something that puts you are not at ease, a dis-ease. You're not really at peace. And I realize that the opposite of peace is not war. The opposite of peace, that we are no threat to one another. So it must be an environment that is one of trustworthy, that we are no threat to one another. We're no threat to one another. We don't be at odds with one another. We don't be at odds with one another. That means that we won't hurt, harm, injure, nor endanger with one another. So I'm seeing in a replacement of that particular position someone of a different hue or ethnicity, and even activity or gender. It's like the corruption is being celebrated. Fraud is being celebrated. You come into a position of a power, of corrupted power, to be celebrated. And then these people are elected into office, into more corruption, to be celebrated. God Almighty, what a system. What a mentality, man. And then people are crying over the departure of an individual, crying over the office of power that is held, that is corrupt. What the hell is going on, man? And people say, well, man, this has always happened, man. Come on, man. We can't change this paradigm shift, this thinking, this disease, this sickness, this illness of this it, the sickness of this experience. That thievery, fraud, corruption, chaos, confusion, all that shit is justified. It is celebrated amongst the society. What is the academics doing? What is the academias doing about it? What about the so-called religious people? What are they doing about it? To deal with this corruption of being celebrated. And that which many need to be saved from is being extreme. So, am I being extreme? I should hope not. If so, all correction is accepted. Flows and blockages, limitations and accomplishments. Anytime you exceed your limits, you will be exposed. Until next time, talk to you.